Most of us were taught that health begins at the pharmacy counter, yet the strongest medicine I have ever used starts inside your cells. Right now, there is a housekeeping crew in you that can strip out worn parts, burn leftover fuel, and disarm early trouble before it ever gets a name. The hidden danger is simple. When we nibble from dawn to bedtime and finish the night with one more treat, that crew goes quiet and damage lingers. Here is your first lifeline. Give your cells a calm window this morning by delaying the first bite and reaching for plain water or unsweetened tea. Because time without calories is the language your biology understands. Scientists describe this self-cleanup as autophagy, a process honored by a Nobel Prize and mapped in careful studies from respected American centers. In everyday terms, your cells take out the trash and repurpose the good pieces to rebuild you a little stronger. When that rhythm returns, energy steadies, appetite stops shouting, and the body defends itself with more grace. I am not promising forever youth. I am promising a fairer fight, using the way your body already works. If you have ever opened your eyes and felt older than your years, or watched your waistline ignore your good intentions, this is where we start together. We will keep dinner a little lighter. We will let the night be truly restful for your cells, and we will learn to close the kitchen with confidence rather than with guilt. In the next section, I will show you exactly how to make this practice fit a real American day, how to keep flavor and family at the table, and how to use simple kitchen choices to protect the cleanup crew you already own. I remember countless conversations where patients shook their heads in shock when I explained that their own daily patterns were silencing the very repair crew that nature designed to keep them alive. The unsettling truth is that nearly every one of us practices habits that look innocent but slowly dismantle our defenses. I have seen careful eaters, regular walkers, and diligent checkup goers all end up with the same hidden injuries that no routine test caught. Almost every American adult has drifted through years unaware that their body holds a recycling system meant to sweep out damaged parts, and 9 out of 10 have never even heard of it. Think about your own mornings. You follow advice, you avoid obvious excess, yet you still rise with aching joints, a waistline that refuses to shrink, or a mind that feels wrapped in cotton. The barrier is not laziness or lack of discipline. The barrier is rhythm. When your body never enjoys a quiet window, the healing cycle goes dark and waste builds up like garbage left at the curb. What alarms me most is the way sabotage hides inside the everyday. A harmless-looking snack before bed, a sweetened coffee refill in late morning, or pushing through lunch until you feel stuffed. Each of these is like locking the janitors out of the building. The good news is that once you spot the intruder, you can disarm it without drastic diets or brutal exercise. The limitation is that your body will not flip a switch instantly. It takes several days of patience for the cleanup to restart, but I have watched the reward arrive again and again. People feel energy return. Their lab results begin to shift in the right direction, and daily life no longer feels so heavy. That is why I urge you to pause and consider right now. You do not need miracle powders or expensive regimens. What you need is an awareness that even the smallest routine can either close the door on healing or gently reopen it. Soon I will walk you through the exact practice that reactivates this repair crew. But before that, I want you to hold one question in your mind. Which of your daily choices might already be shutting out your strongest defense? Whenever I explain autophagy, I prefer to step away from the jargon and invite people to imagine something more familiar. Picture a city that never sleeps. Streets get crowded, trash cans overflow, and by nightfall, the air feels heavy. Then, just before dawn, a quiet crew moves in. They sweep the streets, recycle the leftovers, and leave everything ready for a fresh morning. That is what autophagy does inside you. It is your midnight cleanup team taking apart broken pieces of the cell and reusing what still works to build new strength. If that team is silenced, damage collects like rust on steel, clogging the very machinery that keeps you alive. But when the team works, the body feels lighter, the brain clearer, the joints less inflamed, and defenses stand taller against disease. This is not some theory dreamed up in a lab. The mapping of this process won a Nobel Prize in medicine. And since then, scientists at the National Institutes of Health and at Mayo Clinic have traced it to slower aging, steadier metabolism, and protection from illnesses as grave as cancer and dementia. Yet I always warn there is a weakness to this system. The repair cycle waits for quiet. If your day is filled with non-stop snacking, or if stress keeps hormones firing, the crew never enters the building. One late-night dessert, or a constant drip of calories through the day, is enough to bolt the door on your strongest defense. The beauty is that the reverse is also true. A simple pause between meals, an early dinner that gives your body room to rest, or a calm evening free from constant grazing can swing that door wide open. The choice, as I see it, is stark but hopeful. You can let waste pile up until it dulls your energy and clouds your mind. Or you can give your cells the time they need to restore themselves. In the next part, I want to show you how generations in certain corners of the world, long before any Nobel ceremony, built traditions that quietly nourished this process and handed down decades of healthy life. I still remember my surprise the day I learned that Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, a Japanese physician, was seeing patients and delivering lectures well past his 100th birthday. I thought it had to be an exaggeration until I traced his story more closely. He never forced his body with excess. He ate small meals. He stopped before fullness. He walked stairs when the elevator was available, and he filled his days with writing and conversation that kept his mind alive. What struck me most was not his age, but his attitude. He spoke of joy as if it were a prescription, and he treated curiosity as medicine. The strength of his example is obvious. His lifestyle unknowingly supported autophagy decades before the world had a name for it, giving his cells the chance to recycle and renew. That is why he stood tall when most of his peers had long since passed. Yet there is a weakness in the story, too. Dr. Hinohara carried an unusual drive and discipline that few of us can replicate. For someone without his temperament, working every day beyond retirement might breed stress instead of health. So the lesson is not to imitate his schedule, but to borrow his principles. Eat just until you are satisfied, keep moving in small ways, and nurture a sense of purpose that makes life worth waking up for. When I tell his story, I see eyes widen because it bends the rules we thought unbreakable. It suggests that aging is not only a steady decline, but a path we can influence with the simplest habits. Imagine for a moment what would shift in your own life if you adopted even one of his practices. Could you push the plate away at a comfortable 8 parts full? Could you choose the stairs for one flight each day? Could you keep your mind busy with something that sparks curiosity? These are not grand gestures, but small, steady rhythms, the same rhythms that gave one man the stamina to live and work for more than a century. They are also the rhythms that you can invite into your own days starting now. When someone turns to me and asks where to begin, I always reassure them that the doorway back to health is not hidden in rare powders or complicated regimens, but in choices so ordinary that they are easy to overlook. The first principle I share is to stop eating while you still feel comfortable rather than stuffed. Picture the difference between walking away from the table with a light step instead of a heavy sigh. The benefit is that your body receives a clear signal to switch gears from digestion to renewal, and that night, your cells can get to work on repair instead of wrestling with excess food. The challenge is that it takes practice to notice the body's quiet signal and to push the plate away in a culture that celebrates finishing every bite. A second approach is to build a daily pause from eating. This is not starvation. It is simply giving your body a span of hours when no food enters so that it can turn from processing to healing. The gain is profound. Blood sugar steadies, energy stabilizes, and the cellular crew we spoke of has time to sweep up damage. The limitation is the adjustment period. For a few days, hunger cues may feel louder. which is why I encourage beginning with a gentle 12-hour gap from dinner to breakfast rather than aiming for extremes. The third path is to choose foods that cooperate with your repair system instead of clogging it. Whole fruits, colorful vegetables, beans, fish, grains like brown rice or oats, and simple drinks such as green tea or black tea provide chemistry that invites autophagy to flow. The strength of this approach is lasting energy and lower inflammation. The weakness is that our modern landscape pushes processed foods at every corner, and it takes a conscious effort to keep a kitchen stocked with real ingredients. What I want you to remember is that none of these habits demand perfection. They invite rhythm, not rigidity. Pick one, even a small one, and let it settle into your day. I often suggest moving dinner earlier and keeping it lighter, because that single change gives your cells the long, quiet night they crave. Over time, these ordinary choices stack up and teach your body to trust its built-in healing system again. If you are wondering how to take the first step, I would tell you to start tonight. Serve your dinner a little earlier than usual and keep it lighter. By the time you lie down, your body will already be drifting into repair instead of struggling with digestion. The advantage is a calmer night and a fresher morning. The drawback is that you may notice a small wave of hunger before bed, but that is the very signal your cells have been waiting for. Tomorrow morning, pour yourself a tall glass of water before you touch anything else. That one gesture hydrates you without sugar and tells your inner cleanup crew that the night shift can keep working. The benefit is a smoother start to the day. The challenge is that your familiar cup of coffee will call to you, so sip the water first and then savor the coffee. Another action that works immediately is to stop eating the moment you feel comfortably satisfied and to set the fork down before those last few bites. The reward is the lightness you carry away from the table. The limitation is that it may feel strange at first if you grew up hearing that you must finish every crumb. Each of these choices is small yet powerful. They do not demand perfection, only awareness. Try one tonight, notice the difference tomorrow, and remind yourself that your body is not against you but waiting for you to give it permission to heal. And keep listening, because what comes next is why these little shifts carry far more weight than you might ever expect. After years of caring for patients, I can tell you with certainty that the body is far more resilient than most of us imagine. It is not a broken machine. It is a living system waiting for the right moment to restore itself. Each small choice you make becomes an invitation. When you set the fork down before you feel heavy, when you close the kitchen early and let the night belong to your cells, when you start the morning with water instead of sugar, you are giving your biology a chance to prove its strength. The power of this approach lies in its simplicity. It does not require expensive regimens or punishing effort. The limitation is that it asks for patience, because the results arrive in quiet steps rather than in sudden miracles. Yet those steps are real. You may notice that you wake with clearer thoughts, that your joints feel easier, that your energy lasts longer through the day. Those are the whispers of your inner repair crew back at work. I believe the greatest gift we can offer ourselves is not another pill bottle, but the calm discipline of listening to what our body asks. Change can be as quiet as an earlier supper, or as gentle as a glass of water at dawn. Yet over time, these whispers gather into a chorus of strength. And now, I want to invite you into this conversation. Have you ever tried ending the evening meal a little sooner, or waiting a few extra hours before breakfast? Did you feel a shift in your sleep, in your energy, or even in your mood? Share your story below. Your voice may be the encouragement someone else needs to believe that small choices, stacked day after day, can change the course of a lifetime.